Hi everyone, this is Kevin Magnussen. Welcome to the new Racing Unleashed Esports series. And congratulations to all of you who have made it to this stage of the championship. You can expect close, competitive racing. But this is also your chance to showcase your talent and take the next step in your sim racing journey. Race fair, stay focused and enjoy it. Good luck and see you on track.
Racing is more than just driving fast. It's pushing the boundaries, feeling the adrenaline, and rewriting what's possible. Let's shape the future of motorsports together.
Welcome back to Racing Unleashed. We've had our RU3 at the back end of last year, and we're back for the Racing Unleashed Esports series. I'm your host Matthew Duffin, going to be bringing you through all the action today from RU2 and RU1 as we get ready to kick off 2026 here in the Racing Unleashed Esports series. What a jam-packed show we have in store for you today. 2 races here from Spielberg in what is going to be a fantastic chance to see these drivers in action. Returning faces and new faces of all will fill up this grid this afternoon in what will be an action-packed race for sure. The one-shot qualifying and the 2 40-minute races, 40 minutes for each race, is what the format will be for this week. The one-shot qualifying giving these drivers the opportunity to try and get as good a lap in as they can. They have the one chance to do so in what should be a fantastic race for us all to see. This should be an absolutely action-packed day as we go into this one at Spielberg. As you can see there, our new flagship lounge in the heart of Zurich, ready to go for the first time in RU2 and RU1. RU3, the three rounds we did last season with the 2 races, was a fantastic way to end 2025. And RU3 will be back later in the year as the qualifiers will open up. Sign-ups are open on Racing Unleashed website. Head over there if you want to sign up. Get over to a racing lounge near you to set your qualifying time to be on the grid the qualifiers start on March the 11th. The sign-ups are open now. The qualifiers start on March 11th for the lap time to come in ready for the race at the end of March, and we'll see what the format of RU3 brings. The calendar, though, for this season here in RU2 and RU1 looks like this. We're at Spielberg this afternoon before heading to Barcelona in a month's time. Back end of April, we head to Spa, and then we go to Imola at the end of May. A bit of a summer break through June, July and August sees us at the Nürburgring for the end of September. Suzuka, the iconic circuit, will end October at the midway stage of that month before heading to Brazil's finest and one of my favourite circuits, Interlagos, for the 15th of November. That'll be race 7. And we end at the home of British Motorsport, Silverstone, on the 13th of December in what should be a fantastic season. The calendar looks absolutely immense, and so does the prize money, as this is what is in store for the drivers today. On your left, the red columns is what the RU1 drivers are fighting for this afternoon. 3,000 Swiss francs could be taken home with them today if they win the race. That goes all the way down to 150 Swiss francs for 10th place. You can see the column on your left of the 2 red columns is what they could win for the championship come the end of the season. If, like Michael Schmiedel, you won the championship last time out, you could net yourself 20,000 extra Swiss francs on top of what you may have earned throughout the season. And in the green columns, you see what the RU2 drivers will be racing for. 900 Swiss francs will be given to the race winner today, all the way down to 50 for P10. And in that second green column will be what the champion can take home for RU2. 9,000 Swiss francs is a lot of life-changing money for these sim drivers, whether it's to upgrade equipment or if you're like Ciro Zambra, be able to save up for a day out testing a GT3 car at Portimao. Either way, the next graphic we will be able to show you is the racing lounges and where you can try to go and do the qualifying for that RU3 series, and that is one of 4 lounges. We have the circle at the Zurich Airport Lounge. Your top one we've got then in the Zurich City Centre is your 2 in Switzerland. The Motor World building in Munich is where you can go if you're in Germany, or head down to Madrid in Spain for the lounges. That is where you can try and go and qualify for RU3, which qualifying opens once again on the 11th of March. But that is where today we'll see a lot of action. We'll be able to go through the lounges with our live camera crew in the middle of Zurich. We'll be able to flick to Munich and to Madrid as well to see the atmosphere building in what should be a fantastic day. Many a name you would have seen in RU3 from the end of last year here in RU2, and it's going to be an action-packed day for sure. We're looking forward to this one, and I hope you guys are at home as well. So we're here in Austria, in Styria. There you see some of the Racer League drivers and families of the RU1 drivers. Got to get used to saying that now. You see the likes of Ciro Zambra and Yannick Pletcher sat there ready to go as the RU2 drivers are now out for what I believe is the practice session in this series. It'll be a one-shot qualifying to come, followed by that 40-minute race. There is Munich, looking nice and calm and relaxed to go for this start of this brand new adventure here at Racing Unleashed. And there we can see the Madrid lounge also getting ready to go with Nesta Garcia in the blue simulator, looking like he could try and take a couple of wins this season. This man, Adrian Gomez, what can he do today? He was the key in RU3, pushing Tim Portsmatter all the way. Can Adrian Gomez finally get that championship he has so long been longing for? Ivan Marino, we saw glimpses of what he could do back at the end of last year. He's another one to watch out for. There is a lot of drivers on this grid this year that can really try and take points off of each other. It is a tough, tricky league to be a part of here in RU2. The competition in both RU1 and 2 is fantastic. Roberto Miguez will be hoping for more success as well. Norik Liotsky, not yet in the car. There is Maximilian Ners in Munich as well. So it's going to be great to see what these drivers are going to be capable of. Xavier Schmidt, he looks fully focused and ready to go for this one. Tyler Saver as well. You see there the defending RU1 champion of Michael Schmiedel in the background. And our oldest competitor on the grid. Always great to see Walter Troninger back on the grid for another season of competing. Patrick Dubac then as well in your Zurich lounge. He will be. He looks laser focused at the minute. Really got his eyes set on what he needs to do. Jamie Igio then is in the light blue simulator here in Zurich as well. And these new simulators, the ones that we've used now for a little while, are absolutely spectacular. So you get ready to go in this race. The practice session will last a few moments, and then we'll get into that one-shot qualifying that we'll be able to bring you a little later on in the show. And this should be a fantastic day of racing, that is for sure, here at Racing Unleashed. So the Spielberg circuit opened in 1969, 4.318 kilometers in length with 10 turns. Gonna really be crucial, this track, because it is all about corner exit and how you get that speed down the straights in towards the heavy braking zones of the likes of turn 1, turn 3, the final couple of corners. There could be a little bit of dive bombing going on into some of these corners. This should be an interesting race for us all to keep our eyes on and see in this one's. Let's see what will happen, though, going forward at the moment. This is going to be an interesting race for sure, as we already see a bit of a spinner there at the exit of turn 1 at the moment in the practice session. And Timothy Spearson, it looks like it possibly is. We go back on to the circuit, and he manages to carry on his way at the moment. So the practice session so far, before that one-shot qualifying, as we said, leading into the 40-minute race. And the one thing that hasn't changed here for RU2 is there will still be 8 activations of push to pass. The 8 activations will allow these drivers to use at any given moment throughout the race the chance to use it. It lasts for about 8 seconds, and they can only use it 8 times. It's not once per lap. You can use all 8 on a singular lap if you want to. We've seen in the past here at Spielberg that a lot of drivers tend to use their push to pass at the very end, especially for the drivers leading the races trying to defend or maybe mount an attack. It is all about strategy. It is all about when or when not to use this push to pass, and this is what we're excited to see. The RU2 drivers driving in the RSS Formula Hybrid Formula RSS 2 V6 car is going to be an interesting one to keep our eyes on, because the RU1 drivers use a different vehicle. There you see Race Control getting ready to go at the moment. The RU1 drivers will be using the RSS Formula Hybrid 25. And if you're wondering what the difference is between RU2 and between RU1 and RU3, RU2 is the intermediate sort of level here at Racing Unleashed. It is a chance to prove yourself, to try and earn that spot in RU1 going into the next season of 2027. And that is where drivers will be looking to have a great competitive season, trying to fully focus on what they need to do in front of them. RU3 is the entry point for Racing Unleashed, the brand new entry point, which we will see them come in the next round at the end of March. This is the entry point for newer drivers to join Racing Unleashed and to get the feel for the competitive world of sim racing and try and advance into RU2, and hopefully with that chance of maybe even advancing into RU1. And RU1, as we know, is the highest level here at Racing Unleashed. We have got great drivers on that grid to see and come this season. It is going to be fantastic. What I'm loving already, Yannick Pletcher's grandfather and mother I saw there in the background watching on yet again. So great to see the family support of all the drivers here. As the RU2 drivers remain in their cockpits now the practice session is ended, and they will get ready for the one-shot qualifying. Now, an important thing to remember here in one-shot qualifying, the drivers, I believe, still cannot see each other. So it will be a solo qualifying on their own. They have to nail the lap. We all know what Spielberg can be like. It is a nightmare for track limits around this circuit. So track limits are going to be key here to make sure that they keep on top of staying within the lines of the track limits. This is going to be an interesting day of racing to see what will happen throughout the race and throughout this qualifying session. As you can see there, the drivers being loaded in to their session, ready to take to the qualifying grid. And all the cars will remain in the pit lane for everybody apart from themselves, as they will only be able to be on track. We will only see the one driver on the circuit at the moment, at one given moment, and then that will provide us with the opportunity to then see what these drivers can do. Looking forward to seeing this one in action as we start our brand new venture into Racing Unleashed. RU2 qualifying is underway with the drivers out on their formation laps, their warm-up lap out the pit lane, ready to kickstart their championship season. We're on board with Xavier Schmidt for the outlap. He's coming down towards turn number 4 now, as you can see, getting the temperature into them tyres, making sure they're at an optimum or as close to an optimum temperature as he can get here in the Formula RSS2 V6. We've seen this car used a lot last season, and I thought it provided great drama for everybody out there on the grid. And let's see what will happen in this one this time around. There is Xavier Schmidt's camera angle from the Munich lounge himself as he comes now towards the penultimate corner on his opening outlap of this session. He now, and like every other driver out of the 20 on the grid, has to get this bang on. He has to be on the pace straight away. He comes towards the start line and will start his first flying lap, and his only flying lap in the session. Brakes hard coming in towards the Niki Lauda curve. Tries not to use too much of the exit to pick up them track limits. Great job there from Xavier Schmidt already. Gone through turn 2. Now climbing up the hill towards turn number 3 of Remus. He goes once again, looking to pick up the apex of the corner. Tucks it in nice and easy. Very simple to get on the power too early and drop that rear end around through turn 3. Down the hill he comes once again to try and pick up the braking point, which I think is one of the hardest corners at the Spielberg circuit here of turn 4. So easy to get your turn in, you're braking just wrong, and that will put you off by a couple of tenths. In towards turn 6 and 7 we go. Long left-hander picking up the apex a little later on in the corner, probably a bit wider than what he would have wanted in this one so far, as he comes now in towards 7 and 8, down towards that penultimate corner. for his final run in qualifying so far. It's been a good lap from Xavier Schmidt. It's been a tidy lap from Xavier Schmidt. It's another chance there to just try and take track limits. Looks like he stayed in quite well. And now towards the timing line he goes. Nestor Garcia is your provisional pole time. Where did Xavier Schmidt go? With an 18.2, it is only good enough for trying to find his name on the timing tower. I can't see him at the moment. He hasn't registered his time, so did he invalidate at that penultimate corner? But Nestor Garcia looks like he's the man on pole position in this first race by 92 hundredths of a second. So we just await for final confirmation of the starting grid, but it could be that man there on your pole position from Roberto Miguez and then Harris Skenderi. Tim Portsmatter, your RU3 champion, was P4, but obviously we will get that confirmation of the grid very, very shortly. We are, though, going to take a look at the track explainer here at Spielberg. So then, Spielberg here in Austria. 10 corners, very short lap. Got to make sure that every corner is taken and is absolutely bang on in this race. As you can see, in the Styrian Mountains, the great, beautiful location for this fantastic and iconic circuit. There with the bull overlooking the middle sector of the lap on the hill. A great place and a great venue to come racing. Opened in 1969, 4.318 kilometres in length, or 2.683 miles. 10 turns of absolute brilliance here at the Spielberg circuit then. What a day this is to kick off round number 1 of RU2 in this race. Let's see what will happen as we get ready for the grid to come up. A lap is short and intense, 71 laps over 4.318 kilometres, which is 306 kilometres in total, makes for some of the quickest races all season. That's obviously what we see in the likes of the Formula 1 with 70 laps, where it's 2 hours at least in length or thereabouts. So 71 laps is an incredibly long race when you look at it like that, but when you see the lap times and you think that they're doing just over a minute, not long at all. Nestor Garcia then confirmed on pole position from Roberto Miguez with Harris Skenderi P3. Tim Portsmatter is P4 from Norik Loki. Ivan Marino is in P6 from Guzman Migles. Jamie Igio is in P8 from Adrian Gomez. And Andrin Christoffel P10 from Melvin Luppi in P11. David Verthrich P12 from Timothy Spearson down in 13th. Maximilian Nares in 14th place from Walter Troninger. Patrick Dubach in 16th from Tyler Saber. Lorenz Stump, Mark Games there then in 19th, and Xavier Schmidt. No time, so must have taken the track limits at the penultimate corner. So that then is the grid order for this race. That is your pole sitter here, ready to go, locked and loaded, getting ready to take the grid order. Nestor Garcia will love the chance to take a race win on the opening RU2 season. That man will hope to stop him. Adrian Gomez was very quick, very consistent back in RU3 at the end of last year. He'll be looking to take the race to the championship leaders once again. He will want to be the championship leader. You can bet your money on that one, and we'll see what he can do a little later on in the race. But for now, the drivers will take to the grid for the first time this season in what should be a fantastic and historic day here at Racing Unleashed for all to be a part of. Been a proud time to get this RU2 and RU1 season back up and running. And what a job for everybody here to try and make this a fantastic race, really, because let's be honest, we've had a long time since we've seen the RU2 and RU1 drivers back out on the circuit. It wasn't until the beginning of last year that we last saw these drivers out there on the track. So it's been a while since we've had them out there. So it's great to see them back out on the grid. And let's just hope for a fantastic race in this one today. We get ready for the start. Lovely little Ayrton Senna gloves there. Love that little tribute to Ayrton Senna. That's fantastic. They'll look really good at Interlagos in a few months' time. Like we said, 4 races before a summer break, so it's crucial to get your season off to a good start, knowing that there is a 3-month break coming and knowing that these drivers will just have to rest and settle. I say rest, they won't rest. They will test till their heart's content and get the practice and get the track and seat time in before that last final 4 races of the calendar coming back in September with June, July and August off. This could be huge for the championship moving forward in what should be a fantastic, absolute brilliant season. RU3 will be with us from rounds 2, 3 and 4 of the RU2 and RU1 season. Then they will then have a bit of a longer break. They will have a 4-month break because they will then be back for rounds 10, 11 and 12. But we'll get you more information on RU3 as it comes out. Keep your eyes on our social media platforms of Instagram and TikTok and all them places like that to be able to keep up to date with what is happening at Racing Unleashed and to keep up to date with what the RU3 calendar will look like, especially if you fancy your chances in that RU3 seat come next month. As we get ready to go then for RU2. I've been ready for this one. It's been nearly over a year since we had what was Challenger League and Racer League. It's now RU2 and RU1. Nearly over a year of waiting for this to be back going. We got a little taster of RU3 at the back end of last year, which was fantastic. And now it's time. Now it is time to get ready to go for these seasons once again. I do have to apologise. I've already got one name wrong. I did put a thing out on the Discord to ask for drivers to DM me their names, and it's Liotsky, not Liocky. So I've already got one wrong. I've been trying to get that one and Jamie Igio right all weekend, and I've already got it wrong at the first chance of saying it. Liotsky. So sorry, Norik. Apologies about that one. We will get it right as the season goes on. Don't you worry about that one. We'll make sure that is bang on with the correct pronunciations. And before we get ready to go, big shout out to the likes of Sebastian Hawkins and Connor, our new, who's replaced Fabio Vettiger here at Racing Unleashed. It's great to see this series back up and running. They've done a fantastic job to get this series back up and going. And I need to give a special thank you to a friend of mine who is letting me borrow their room today. Electrical problems at home mean I'm not in the normal office at home. So thank you to a friend of mine for letting me use their spare room today for this race and for the start of this championship. So don't worry, we'll be back in the normal studio very, very soon. I can't wait to get this one going. Like I say, nearly a year since we've seen these drivers. Well, not since we've seen these drivers, but since we've seen this series, because these drivers was in the RU3 at the back end of last year. Everybody sat in their simulators getting ready to go in this race. There is Munich, looking beautiful as ever. I really do like the Munich Lounge. It's got a great feel and a great atmosphere on race day. Very quiet at the moment with the drivers. I think there's one in the simulators down this bottom end. There's a few more simulators further up that you'll be able to see from the other camera. But yeah, it is going to be an interesting one to keep our eyes on this race and what will happen at the start. So then, there is Jamie Igio, just chatting away as he remains seated in the simulator, ready for this event to start. As the grid order is being set, and this is what he's just this is what the little moment's break is for these drivers. The grid order is being set and making sure that everything is correct. And then we have the RU2 race coming up. A little later on, we'll get driver reactions and a few podiums, as well with interviews of the top 3 drivers. There is the new flagship lounge in Zurich. With family, friends, just a casual passerby sat in our lovely bar area, watching on as they are about to see these drivers get ready for battle on the Spielberg circuit. A look at the downstairs area of some of our lovely simulators. Like one of the drivers is ready to go. A couple of the drivers there, look, just sat in the back, just getting ready to go in this race. Final preparations, final visualizations for these drivers to get their race underway. There's the upstairs area where we can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 drivers sat. We've got a couple of the drivers and family members sat behind. Familiar faces of Stiros Nambra there on the right, Yannick Pletcher in the light blue on the left. And it looks like we are about to get ready onto the grid in this one as we go forward into our first race. There's Madrid. And Madrid, I tell you what, the atmosphere in Madrid is immense. It is absolutely fantastic to see the atmosphere in Madrid. It is always a great atmosphere there. Got a few people in the chat. Great to see everybody in the stream chats there as well. Fabio Vettiger himself is in the chats. Great to see you, Fabio. Hope you're doing well. My friend, a few other drivers. Beto, I know him. I recognise that name. Good morning to you. Good morning to everybody watching on Twitch and on YouTube, wherever you are around the world, watching this fantastic racing series about to get underway. There we can tell from the screens the grid has been set. The drivers are lined up on it. And we will be there in just a few moments' time to get this race underway. We'll walk through the grid momentarily to show you who is starting where once again. And as we say that, as if by magic, our lovely producer Silas manages to teleport us to the grid. Nestor Garcia on the right on pole from Roberto Miguez. Had a couple of front row starts last time out in RU3. We'll hope for more. Harry Skenderi alongside Tim Portsmadder. Great to see us. Good, strong second row. On row 3, Norin Liotsky from Ivan Marino then. Guzman Miguez is then alongside that of Jamie Igio. On row number 4 or 5. I've lost count of that now. Adrian Gomez is alongside that of Andrin Christoffel. This could be an interesting row. Melvin running the Brazilian colours on his front wing there, alongside David Verthrich. Drivers running their own liveries on some of these cars. The Australian livery of Timothy Spearson will be alongside that of Maximilian Nez. Walter Troninger will line up then alongside that of Patrick Dubac. In this race, the penultimate row of the grid, Tyler Saber will be alongside Lorenz Stump. And on the final row, Mark Games will be alongside Xavier Schmidt to bring round out the grid here at Spielberg for the first race of the RU2 season. And let's see what will happen in this one. We've got Jimmy Broadbent in the chat. Good afternoon to Jimmy Broadbent, who says T1 send time. Let's hope for a few clean sends here at turn 1. But the lights are about to appear on screen for the first time in this RU2 season and for the first time in RU2 history. With the rebranded name from Challenger League to RU2, the red lights appear on screen. It's a bit of a hold. It's green and go here at Spielberg for the first race of the RU2 Championship, and a great start from the pole sitter. Already heading into turn 1, side by side. Into the first corner, we see a couple paired up as they come through the field, and a great start from Garcia on pole. He's pulled away absolutely beautifully. Now, 3 or 4 abreast in the background. Does any driver use the push to pass as they head in towards turn 3? Nearly wheel-to-wheel contact there. Under braking, little bit of a lock-up. As we come through over the crest, down the hill we drop. Poor run from the P3 man there of Harry Skenderi. He's now under pressure, coming down the field, still 3 abreast in the background. And Skenderi just trying to now hold on that inside line as they come through. This is down with Ivan Marino through turn 4. He's had a pretty decent start. He's got up the pack just a little bit. He's up into P5, so a decent start for Marino there. And Jamie Igio will be looking to make up a few places from P8 as well. He'll want that podium position for sure. Quick driver, Jamie. On his day, he sometimes gets caught up in a mistake or two, but a great start here at Spielberg for the opener of the race. In towards the penultimate corner we go. And it's Jamie Higio who is under pressure from that of Adrian Gomez just behind. Drivers, when will they use the push to pass? This is going to be the biggest question. It is a 40-minute race. So the interesting thing to see is that strategy of when to use it. Slipstream, always a useful thing here at Spielberg. With the amount of straights we've got, it is always interesting to see. We've seen it in the past where the strategy of push to pass is, do you go early or not? Tim Portsmatter coming under pressure, looking to have somebody go around the outside of him. That was Liotsky there then, and he couldn't manage to get that one done. And actually lose out to Marino in the battle as well. So Portsmatter coming under pressure from Marino now, down towards the inside of turn 4. Tim Portsmatter, RU3 champion last time out at the end of last year, manages to hold on to that well. Stays just ahead in P4 at the moment. Nesta Garcia leads from Roberto Miguez. Harry Scanderi, P3 from Tim Portsmatter himself. So that is your current running order you see there on that left-hand side. The lap times, the amount of laps aren't showing in that top corner at the moment, so we will try and get that one sorted for you momentarily. But we can tell you it is 40 minutes in length. Here is Tim Portsmatter still trying to fend off that of Nurik Liotsky then. Skenderi looking on the back of Miguez. In fact, that is not Harry Skenderi because he's up in P3. That, I believe, was Ivan Marino. The timing tower doesn't look like it's updating at the moment, so we'll try and get the timing tower sorted out as well. But I believe Ivan Marino there has managed to get himself through. This is Adrian Gomez. Oh, big lock up into turn 3. Car on his inside. Had a bit of a look. Couldn't do anything about it. And Skenderi, who I believe is P3 at the moment. We're not 100% sure. We do know, though, this is Adrian Gomez. We're on board with big look from behind. Nothing can be done about that one into turn 4 then. So the F2, the Formula RSS2 V6 cars, they provided such great racing last time out in the Challenger League, what it was last year. This is Walter Troninger. No, this is Adrian Gomez, apologies, with an overtake. Look, just got a great slipstream. That was definite push to pass. Up in towards turn 3 you saw there. You could see it coming. And he managed to get the move done. So that is the usage of push to pass. Lasts, like I said, for about 8 seconds. And they get 8 activations over the course. They can use as many as they want on a singular lap, but they only get 8 activations. So once you've used all 8, you are out of activations for the rest of the race. So far, a good, clean start at the moment. We've not seen too many incidents. In fact, we've not seen an incident at all. As this is still Adrian Gomez, the Spanish driver. Coming through just in towards that mid-pack. Jamie Higio running P8 at the moment, we do believe. He's trying to work his way further forward as well, the Swiss driver. Through turn number 5. Sorry, turn number 6, down in towards 7 and 8. Sure, if you get a good run out of here, it could lead you to make a move at turn number 9. But he's not close enough at the moment, and this is where we're going to wait to see if push to pass will be used and activated during any of these races. But so far, so good. We are still working on getting this timing tower back to you, so you will be able to see it in action once again. So just please bear with us on that one. The timing tower should hopefully be back to you properly in just a moment. There is Higio in that Zurich lounge in the heart of Zurich city centre. These fantastic Evo 2 simulators in action once again. Down in towards the turn 4 corner we go now. Not a lot happening out there at the moment. It's been a bit of a quiet start to the season. We normally used to seeing a lot of action-packed drama, but it's been a very quiet start to the championship already. Drivers settling into a nice rhythm here in RU2 and just getting used to the feel of the car with whatever testing they've had. And just waiting for drivers to maybe make a mistake or two. Back to Adrian Gomez. He's a man who has been on a mission in this race. He's on the back of Tim Portsmatter now. Back to Jamie Igio. Just falling off the back of the train in front of him. Adrian Gomez, fastest lap of the race with a 17.645. So he's on the move, is Adrian Gomez, trying to get onto the back of Tim Portsmatter in the opening spell of this race. Come through turn number 3 now. Gomez just getting a little bit quicker. And the thing we don't know here in the studio and for you guys at home, we don't know what push-to-pass usages that Adrian or Tim have used. This is so that people in lounges can't be able to relay information and tell the drivers what strategy other people are using when they use push-to-pass. So it's down to the drivers to try and work out when others use it or don't use it. You've got to try and remember how many usages you've got left. They'll be able to see it on their displays, how many usages they have left. But at the moment, wait and see. So this is the timing tower. And Adrian Gomez is running P4. It's saying he's down in P9, but he is P4 in this race. He is behind Tim, sorry, he's P5. He's behind Tim Portsmatter in 4th. This is Harris Skenderi then, as Guzman Migles sets the fastest lap of the race. Skenderi going side by side up into turn number 3, nearly wheel to wheel. The light blue car on the inside, bit of contact on the exit, and Skenderi cannot get the move done, and they remain as they was. So a chance there for Skenderi on the outside to have a look, but to no avail at the moment. Here is Liotsky then, coming through the middle sector. Lovely colour scheme on the car there. I'm enjoying that one. And Norik will be looking to try and make up a few places here. He's just ahead of Tim Portsmatter, so I believe he's in P3. Yes, he is, because he's the leader and second place just up the road as I climb up the hill towards turn number 1 again in this race. What a chance for these drivers to stake an early claim in this championship. But we go from here to a completely different circuit in the next one, in all forms of the fact that this is more about the straight line speed through here. Not many corners where the aero will sort of take advantage. So middle sector maybe. When we go to the likes of Suzuka and into Lagos, and it's just a completely different circuit in the way the car will handle and will react to certain corners. It's all about pace around here. It is fixed setup, so drivers cannot change setups. It is a fixed setup race as well. So this means for the drivers, they've got to do it on sheer pace alone in this race. So this is where the drivers are going to try and make their way through the grid as quick as they can. Guzman Migles here. Running just off the back of Adrian Gomez. Gomez not progressed any further forward at the moment. Migles, for the time being, doing what he needs to do. So I have just been sent an image, and I can tell you that your current running order, the image lets me enlarge it, your current running order is as follows. I'll try and get that for you in just a couple of seconds' time. As we head through the middle sector once again, Guzman Migles still trying to chase down the back of Adrian Gomez as best he can at the moment. He will have that push to pass to try and capitalise on the start straight especially. We are working on getting that timing tower back up to you as soon as we can. We are just experiencing a few technical difficulties with it at the moment. So as we get that one done, here is Liotsky then, P3 at the moment, just getting a little closer to P2. Down in towards turn 4 they go once again. And let's see what these drivers can do. I am about to get the timing tower on my other screen so that I can give you all the correct positions at the moment, and we can have a quick run through of who is where. So let's see what happens here then in this race at the moment. So far we've got Harry Scanderi fending off that of Jamie Igio in this race at the moment, in what has been a good start to his race for Jamie. He'll want to just try and get that extra position. But of course he's going to have to work hard to get past. We still don't know that push to pass usages yet either, so it's going to be an interesting one to see what Jamie can do and when he can try and make the move. Coming through the middle sector now, back on board with Norik, trying to hunt down after P2. He's got Tim Portsmouth, who looks a little closer to him at the moment in this race as well. Jamie Igio here then, getting closer once more as well to the back of the cars ahead, just to try and make up a couple of moves in this one. He's been looking like he's been trying to get closer all race here. We are just trying to sort out getting back in to the live timing screens so that we can get let's try and get something on the screen for you in this race. There we go. But a quiet start here at Red Bull Ring. Not a lot really to mention. Not a lot of overtakes happening so far. Not a lot of dramas for drivers out there. A quiet start to this race. Indeed it has been. And this is now going to be an interesting one to see what will happen in RU2 at the moment. This will hopefully start to develop there. I think that says lap 23 of 53, I think. No, sorry, that's the lap times I'm seeing. See what is left of this race. It might be 23 minutes left of this race, actually. So we'll see what happens as we go forward. Right, I've got the live timings up on the screen now, so I can tell you it is Néstor Garcia who still leads this race from Roberto Miguez. Nora Liotsky is P3 from Tim Portsmadder. Adrian Gomez running P5 from Guzman Migles. Ivan Marino is P7 from Harris Skenderi. Jamie Igio is P9 from Timothy Spearson. Patrick Dubach from Maximilian Ners, Tyler Saber, Andrin Christoffel, Melvin Luppy, David Verthwich, Walter Troninger, Mark Games, Xavier Schmidt and Lorenz Stump is running down in last place. There is 22 minutes 43 seconds left on the clock. So now that we've got that in front of us, and we'll try and get that timing tower sorted, hopefully for the Racer League race in a few moments' time. If not, I've got the live timing up, so it's all good. It is 18 degrees ambient temperature and a 25-degree track temperature, for those wondering as well, out there at the moment. But so far so good, so apologies, we're going to be back properly now with the commentary now that we're all logged in and ready to go, and this is going to be an interesting one to keep our eyes on now. Just seeing a few comments in the chat. Is there any mandatory pit stops? No mandatory pit stops. The HUD for the timing tower isn't currently working, so that's why you cannot see that one. And the telemetry is having a few issues. That's why there's no info. I've got the timing screen on my monitor now, so I can let you guys know anything that happens that we can see. We're on board with Liotsky then in P3. He's chasing down after Roberto Miguez at the moment. 13 laps into this race they are. And Liotsky, that time around, was a tenth slower than Miguez, and Tim Portsmadder just 100th quicker. The gaps is not massive at all. 1.5 seconds separate the leaders. That's just gone up to 2. It's half a second between second to third. 4 tenths between Portsmadder to Liotsky then. So it is all happening out here at the moment in this race. It's all starting to develop and come back together in this one. This is what is going to be interesting to see. Who's used what push to pass? Who has saved their push to pass towards the end at the moment? This is going to be what we keep our eyes on as this race rolls on through here at Spielberg for round 1 of the championship. 21 minutes exactly left on the clock here in Spielberg, and RU2 has kicked off a great start to the season already. Seeing on the timing tower a purple sector 1 for Verthwich here, so Verthwich looking pretty good at the moment out there. This should be interesting to keep our eyes on what will happen in this race as we enter the halfway stage of it. There, it's second all the way down to 6th. Your leader is 1.5 seconds clear at the moment. But second to 6th, separated by not a lot at all. This is going to be crucial to see what will happen as this race develops. As there's our live camera view from the Zurich Lounge in the heart of Zurich city centre. See a bit of smoke come from the cars there just in front. I believe that is on board Guzman Migles. It can't be Guzman Migles. It's got to be someone a little higher up the order. Might have been Tim Portsmadder, or it could have even been Ivan Marino potentially. Couldn't tell from the back. I'm sure Portsmadder has yellow gloves, or a bit of yellow on his gloves. Just seeing a few messages come up on the timing tower. A bit of a collision between Christoffel and Verthwich then down the order.
Scanderi went purple in the middle sector, so he's starting to push now and try and close that gap. A second now between Portsmouth and this man, Adrian Gomez. That was Liotsky then. In this race at the moment. So far, Nesta Garcia is in control of this race. 1.5 seconds is his lead. It's a couple of tenths quicker than Roberto Miguez on the last lap, but Miguez coming under pressure from Liotsky then, who is just trying to pull away a little bit from Tim Portsmouth in this race. Good afternoon to Thomas Herzog in the chat as well. It's great to see you here, Thomas. And at the moment, let's see what Liotsky can do, because he's trying to attack Miguez, but he's got to start to keep one eye on the feeling of Tim Portsmouth coming onto the rear of his car, getting closer through the penultimate corner, down to turn 10. There you go. Now Liotsky just pulls out, just goes to look to defend, comes back across, moves back out again. Can't make any more moves than that. This is down with Tyler Saber then. Down in 13th place, trying to get ahead of Maximilian Nez. He's been creeping onto the back of these last couple of laps as well. And now Liotsky looking for a move on Miguez. Up in towards turn number 3. Round the outside he goes. Does he get the better run on the exit of 3? He does. Look at the overspeed he's got. But now Miguez comes back at him. Push to pass definitely activated there for Roberto Miguez as he pulls away from that of Liotsky and stays into P2. Runs a little deep at turn 4. Manages to keep ahead though. So a great bit of action now starting to develop as we enter in to the final 17 minutes of this race. Nesta Garcia will start to pull away a little bit more the more these two start fighting in this one. It's been a quiet start to the race, and now we start to see the action unfolding here at Spielberg at the moment. This is Tyler Saber then, looking up the inside of that of Nez. Can't get through it. Turn number 6 into 7. Looking to possibly set himself up. Little wiggle through the S as he goes there. Tyler will have to be patient and once again try to do that again. Lovely livery on that car as well. It's great to see the drivers coming up with lovely looking liveries on the cars. Really beautiful to see. What a start to the season. Garcia's gap 2 seconds now. So he's just pulled away a little bit more to the cars behind him. This is Saber down in 13th place. Points, by the way, go all the way down to P19. You get 1 point for P19, no points for 20th place. Oh, there's a mistake there from Nez, and Saber nearly goes deep into the back of him. Manages to get the up and under. And now Tyler Saber, with a wheel just dipped onto the grass, will have the inside line of turn 4. And he's not managed to get ahead just yet. He's alongside, not in front. Turn 4 comes, and Tyler Saber gets through. He moves up into P number 12, ahead of Maximilian Nez now. So a mistake from Maximilian that opened the door for Tyler there. A little bit of contact to go with it. This is Haris Scanderi down in P8. He is 2.5 seconds off the back of Ivan Marino. He is 1 second clear of Jamie Egio. Let's say good afternoon to Tony in the chat as well. Long-time supporter. He's always tuned into Racing Unleashed, I do believe. So great to see Tony here. Once again, Patrick Dubach then in P11. He's gone green in middle sector. He's trying to close down that 6-second gap to Timothy Spearson to get inside that top 10. Obviously, the top 10 will take home some prize money today, but the top 19 will all score a point. And who is running down in that dreaded 20th place for no points at the moment? It is Mark Games so far by 4.5 seconds. So work to do for him. 14.5 minutes remain in this race. And so far, Liotsky on the back of Miguez and has taken Tim Portsmouth with him. The Swiss driver of Tim Portsmouth trying to go with the podium runners in this race. I think we could be in for a dramatic end, depending on what usages of push to pass are left for these drivers. We could be in for a dramatic end to this race. Oh, Lutsky, bit of a wiggle. Did he just touch the sausage curb there on the outside? Little bit of a moment. Drops him off the back of Migles. And now allows Tim Portsmatter to sail around the outside. Maybe with a bit of push to pass to his name as well. But Tim Portsmatter moves now up into third place. All from a mistake from Norik Liotsky then. And that has been disastrous for him. But it puts Portsmatter up onto the podium. And Norik, who was looking so good chasing after the cars in front, there is Tim Portsmatter. And now we'll want to focus in towards turn 5. Now 6 they go. He'll want to focus up and get ahead of that of Roberto Miguez, who's brought the gap down to the leader. That's gone back down to 1.5 seconds here. So while Guzman's not been under Roberto hasn't been under too much pressure. Roberto's just been able to bring the gap down to Néstor Garcia, who might just be controlling his race at this point. Miguez now will look to see what Portsmatter does. There is Liotsky P4 now with Adrian Gomez under pressure from Guzman Miguez. Good day to be in the Madrid Racing Lounge. Your drivers all running well in the top 10. Gomez, who fought hard with Tim Portsmatter all of last season. We know exactly what he's got to do to try and beat Tim Portsmatter. There's other competition. The problem is the championship isn't won at this race. It's won at Silverstone. It's won over the season, and how your season turns out compared to your rivals. So you've got to at one point think of banking the points instead of risking an overtake. Under 12 minutes to go now in this race. Adrian Gomez, P5 at this moment in time. Portsmatter's got the gap opened up to Liotsky a little bit here then, so Norik just not able to stick with Tim Portsmatter. That gap's opened up to half a second. Let's see what the latest lap times was. Last time around, Portsmatter did a 17.9, Roberto Miguez a 17.6, and 17.8 from Liotsky then. Well, it's actually gained 0.3 over Néstor Garcia. That gap's down to a second over these last couple of laps. So, Néstor Garcia. Oh, great move, Melvin, the upping final corner. Great move from Melvin on Maximilian Nez. Running the Brazilian colours on the front wing, the old Ayrton Senna type McLaren colours on the car. And what a move from Melvin at the final corner. And David Verthrich may have just got through, I think. He has indeed. Over Nez at turn 1, and this is now side by side between the pair of them, heading up in towards turn 3. Nez gets him back done in the straight. Is he going to look to attack Melvin into 3? No, he's not. Possibly pushed to pass Jose from Maximilian. So David Verthrich did get the move done, as did Melvin. And the timing tower is now on your screen, so we have got it working. Now goes through Verthrich. Verthrich, as Melvin defends from David. Round the outside of turn number 4, can't get it done there. And the timing tower is back for you all on your screens now, with 10 minutes 13 left in the race. And we're seeing the leaders under a second between the front two in this race. Absolutely incredible stuff here already at the Red Bull Ring. And what a bit of racing this is for all the way down in 13th, 14th and 15th place. Maximilian just started to lose a bit of pace as this race has gone on. Néstor Garcia from Roberto Miguez, Tim Portsmatter, Norik Liotsky, Adrian Gomez, Guzman Miguez, your top 6. Great fight down this bottom end of the pack, though, or midfield pack, should I say, between Melvin, David and Maximilian. All for a handful of points. 13th place will take home 8 points. 7th for 14th and 6th for 15th place. And this is going to be an interesting one, as there is Guzman Migles, who slides through turn 5 there. On the back of Adrian Gomez. It's going to be an interesting one to see what will happen. Guzman Migles down the hill in towards the final corner. The driver from Madrid attacking his Madrid Conrad himself and Adrian Gomez. Now the leader of Nesta Garcia, possibly saving that push to pass like we said to the end, decides to use the push to pass and sets a fastest lap of a 1:16.9. The only driver, I believe, in the 1:16s. Yes, he is. So Nesta Garcia as Migles with push to pass round the outside of Gomez. Gomez is going to try and hold this on the inside line. They go side by side. And out of turn 3, Gomez has to concede that one. And Migles moves up into P5. Great move there from Adrian Gomez. From Guzman Migles, as Gomez looks to come back on Migles there. Can't do so into turn 4. And now in the final 10 minutes, the racing just starts to turn up another notch. And it goes from level to level as we're getting towards the end of this race. Been fantastic from all the drivers out there so far in this one. Here is Nesta Garcia, though, your race leader, fastest lap, pole position. Can he take the clean sweep here at Spielberg today? Yeah, looks nice and relaxed, just wiping the sweat from his forehead there. Looks nice and calm. Heading into turn number 1 he goes. He's built back up that gap to 2 seconds now. So for Nesta at the moment, he's just managing his pace and managing his time. He obviously didn't use his push to pass and allowed Migles to just gain on him. And the minute that gap went under a second, boom, activated it straight away. This is Jamie Igio on the back of Harris Skenderi. This is for 7th and 8th. Maximilian Nares has just got back past Verthwich here then, and Melvin's got ahead of Tyler Saber. So Melvin moving. Oh no, Tyler's got back ahead of him. Igio looking to get up into P8 ahead of Skenderi. Just going to try and put him under some pressure, coming through towards the penultimate corner here at Spielberg. Got to watch that final corner. Kind of dips away from you in the middle, and the car bottoms out slightly over that sausage curb. You don't want to hit that too hard. It can just unsettle the car a little bit. .8 seconds now, the gap out front for Nesta Garcia. That's cut in half near enough there. Here comes Jamie, just to have a look. No, can't do it into turn number 3. 5.5 minutes remain in this race as Tim Portsmatter attacking Roberto Migles for second place. A little bit of contact there maybe between the two. Portsmatter on the inside line through 5. Roberto Migles fending on for his life here in P2. And Portsmatter now looking racy. He's put 2 seconds nearly between himself and Liotsky then. And Tim Portsmatter now just trying to put the pressure on Migles for second place. RU3 champion of last season, looking to try and just put some more pressure on to start his season the way he ended last season. Could he even catch Nesta Garcia? Gonna say no in 4 minutes 55 seconds, because he's got to get past Migles. Migles. Liotsky's under pressure now from Guzman Migles in the background as well. So drama's happening here in the last 5 minutes between the front 4 or 5 drivers. Adrian Gomez hasn't been able to stick with Migles after the overtake a few laps ago. Igio has got past Skenderi, so that's been done for P8. This is Guzman Migles. Nares has got past Verthwich once again. Verthwich back ahead, so a change of positions down there for 14th and 15th place. Stoffel now past Nares and Troninger, so there must have been an incident for Nares, who's now lost out to Lorenz Stump. And will he be able to stay ahead of Xavier Schmidt? That's going to be the question. That's for the last couple of points in the race. This, though, is the battle of 1, 2, 3, 4. Gomez not really on the back of this fight. 4 cars for a potential podium. Here is Norik Liotsky then. Trying to stay onto the back of Tim Portsmatter. Very close between 2nd and 5th. As we enter the final 3.5 minutes. We've got about 3 laps left to go, because if the driver crosses the line before the timer hits 0, he will finish that lap. And now Portsmatter's having a look on Miguez just further up the road. Tim Portsmatter up the inside at turn 3. Does he get the better exit? Has Miguez got anything left in the locker? Have they both got pushed to pass? It looks like Portsmatter's pulling in front. He's still there, still half a car length in front. And this should now be Tim Portsmatter into 2nd. He goes deep at the exit of 3. This allows Miguez to come back at him. And Roberto Miguez takes back the position. Tim Portsmatter, day late, dollar short, under braking there into turn 4. And once again loses out to Roberto Miguez. Scanderi's back ahead of Jamie Egio. And Verthwich has now dropped down to 19th place, so he's lost out a handful of places as well. And Tim Portsmatter got his braking horribly wrong into turn 4 there. Running out of time. Just under 2.5 minutes left to go in this race. As the leader crosses the line, Tim Portsmatter needs to make the move stick. But where can he do it? This is a replay of him going deep, and Miguez just tucking underneath and getting the move done. Portsmatter now coming under pressure from Liotsky then, and Liotsky's now going to look to the outside, so Tim Portsmatter wants the attacker now on defence and loses out his podium spot to Liotsky. And how the podium is going to change, I think, in these last couple of minutes, because now Adrian Gomez is back in contention here. He's only just a couple of tenths off the back of P number 4. And now Miguez looking for a move on the inside at turn 4. On that of Tim Portsmatter, and through he goes. Sorry, in the rear-view mirror. Just look at the top of your screen in that rear-view mirror shot. You see Miguez and Portsmatter still side by side. And they're still together coming through turn 6, down in towards 7. Portsmatter has that inside line still. Has Miguez got through? He has now, as he really slung the car into 7 and 8. Now Adrian Gomez is there. And Portsmatter falling backwards, trying to come back at Miguez round the outside of turn 9. Can't do it round there. Oh, that'll be a track limits warning for sure for Tim Portsmatter. The Swiss driver has just lost a few positions after that dive at turn 4. This will be the last lap of the race. And how the podium has changed shape, how the top 5 has changed shape in this last few moments. Nesta Garcia, 5.6 in the lead of this race. Portsmatter's back out of Miguez. Didn't see where that happened. But Portsmatter's got back in front, has he? He's just about rubbed wheel to wheel. And all of a sudden, Ivan Marino's on the back of this train. And here comes Adrian Gomez through the middle of both of them. Adrian Gomez up into P4. He's got Tim Portsmatter on the outside of turn 4, though, looking around to hold his line strong. Gomez gets ahead. Now Portsmatter and Miguez side by side for now, 5th and 6th. Gomez has got to be careful here because these two getting a little bit racy. Miguez on the curb. Portsmatter still on that inside line. Now Miguez will have the inside for the left, for the right-hander. What drama this is. It was absolutely quiet for 20-odd minutes. And here we see, oh, spinner in the background. But Nesta Garcia wins at the Red Bull Ring. I think that may have been a backmarker who was around. Roberto Miguez second from Norik Liotsky. Adrian Gomez, Guzman Miguez from Tim Portsmatter, Ivan Marino. That was Mark Games crossing the line. Harry Scanderi, P9. What a race that was. Absolutely fantastic race. And there is your race winner, Nesta Garcia. Pole position, fastest lap, race win. What an epic win. What an epic race to kick off RU2. Nesta Garcia wins at Spielberg in a dramatic fight between the top from second to sixth all the way through. That man there looks pretty relaxed to say he's going to be standing on the top step of the podium. A great drive from Garcia. Miguez hung on for second place. Fantastic start to his season. He was under pressure all race from Liotsky and Portsmatter. And he managed to fend off Portsmatter at the crucial time of asking. Liotsky there managed to get the podium in the final few minutes. What a job for that young man. And what a start to the season. He can't quite believe he's just got the podium there, I think, from his expression on his face there. He's not looking happy with that one. Jamie Egeo, he had a good race. He can be pleased with what he's come away with in that one. Few unhappy faces there. And I'm sure Tim Portsmatter will look back on that one and think if he hadn't maybe have sent it, where would he have been? We'll get to chat to the top three in a few moments' time. What a race this has been to open and kickstart RU2 here. We can head over to Munich now to speak to Norik. Norik, congratulations on the P3. It was a tough race out there, but you did it at the very end.
Yes, it was a tough race, but I'm very happy. I think I'm the youngest here in RU2. And yeah, on the first race, a podium, it's incredible.
The pace looked really good in qualifying, and it looked good all race. It was about managing when or when not to use that push to pass. Did you save a little bit for the end?
Yes, I had, I think, 5 for the end, and I was afraid that the others had more than me. But you can see, it wasn't like that. So in the last 2 rounds, I overtook Portsmatter with my last push to pass, and yeah, it worked well.
Worked well indeed. You was trying to get past Miguez earlier on in the race, just couldn't manage to get close enough to find a way through.
Yes, and I wanted to save the battling for the end of the race because Portsmatter was behind me, and I was afraid that he was catching up and maybe he will overtake me, so I waited for the end of the race.
Well, either way, congratulations on the P3. It was a great race from yourself. We'll see you next time.
Thank you.
Norik there then at P3 for today, and we'll head over to Madrid in just a few moments' time to speak to 1 and 2 on the grid. In fact, we can speak to P number 1 now. Roberto, P2, sorry, on the race today. Good race from yourself. You had to keep an eye on the cars behind you, though.
Yeah, it was just a matter of who used the push to pass later, and I could manage to use it on the last, and I could manage to keep everyone behind.
It looked like Tim Portsmatter had a little lunge on you at turn 4, went a little deep. That allowed you to come back underneath him. Was that kind of your biggest battle of the day?
Yeah, that was my best battle. It was a great battle. He used push to pass into turn 3, then also I think into turn 4. And we were both on the push to pass. He braked a little bit too late, and I could pass him again.
Good start to the season, though, for yourself. P2, good points on the board early on, and it's about getting out the gate well, isn't it? Start your season strong and see if you can carry that through the season.
Yeah, let's see if I can keep this up, and yeah, great result for the season.
Well, Roberto, thank you for speaking to us. Congratulations on the P2. We'll see you next time.
Thank you.
And we'll get Néstor Garcia in a few moments' time to speak to the race winner. We'll just get the two Spanish drivers to change over in Madrid. But what a race for Néstor Garcia. The pole position, the fastest lap, and the race win to go with it. He had a really comfortable day today. The closest we saw the other cars to him was it just dropped under a second for a bit moment. And then he used his push to pass to extend it. We can, though, speak now to Néstor Garcia, who will be translated by Christian. Christian, welcome, as well as Néstor. First of all, how was Néstor's race?
¿Cómo ha ido la carrera? Lo primero, antes de nada.
Muy bien, la verdad. Esperaba que me costara un poco más en cuanto a ritmo, pero al hacer una buena quali he podido salir sin tráfico alguno, imponer mi ritmo y sobre todo, como detrás estaban pegando un poco, guardar el push to pass por si pasaba algo. Y nada, no cometer errores hasta el final, mantener la concentración casi un poco difícil yendo en solitario todo el tiempo y ya está.
Yes, Kial talking us about that. This was like a relaxed race because he was on first position. The most stressful part was the qualifying because it's just one lap. But he told me that he did a very good lap and just he saved like all the push to pass on the race. So he are like calm on the race. So it was like very good for him.
Very good for him, and he starts the season off in great fashion. It's all about now keeping that momentum going into the next round. Can he do that going forward?
Luego para la siguiente carrera, ¿crees que lo puede seguir haciendo así?
Yo creo que sí. La clave es la quali. Al final, al ser a una vuelta, marca completamente la diferencia y eso facilita mucho las cosas o al contrario, las dificulta. Entonces en Montmeló el objetivo es hacer una buena quali de nuevo y intentar no tener tráfico.
Yes, Néstor telling us that the most important part, he thinks that he can do it, but the key of the part of the race is the qualifying here because it's just one lap. So if he did a very good lap, he thinks that he can do it the same.
Going into the next race, what are his thoughts going forward? Obviously, completely different type of circuit here, all about lap time and straight line speed. Going into the rest of the season, is he looking forward to it?
¿Sabes el próximo circuito? Vale, entonces dicen como que cambia mucho el circuito, si vas a seguir, es tu fuerte, tu punto débil o no, o cómo te ves en Montmeló.
A priori Red Bull Ring era el peor circuito para mí, históricamente en el pasado nunca se me ha dado bien, así que espero que en las siguientes tenga un poquito más de ritmo y no depender de que los rivales cercanos hagan malas qualis.
Yes, so Mystery Néstor tell that his worst track was Red Bull Ring, sorry. So I think that if he did first position in Red Bull Ring, he are like most part like in Barcelona. So he think that he can be stronger in Barcelona. So maybe we'll see if he can do the first position again.
Well, Néstor, congratulations on the race win. We'll see you next time.
Enhorabuena y nos vemos en la siguiente carrera.
Gracias. Thank you.
And we can take a look back then at what happened in the RU2 race then, just a few moments ago, with a few highlights. Welcome back then to Racing Unleashed. For the second part of today's action, we now turn our attention to, as you can see in the top right corner of your screen, the RU1 race, where we get to see familiar drivers of Michael Schmiedl, Alejandro Sanchez and many others with some new faces on the grid for the challenge this year. What a series this provides to be, with some great talents on the grid looking to all try and take that top prize that we saw earlier on. Again, the one-shot qualifying and the 40-minute race will take its part for today's race here at Spielberg before heading into the second round in March. The bonus for these drivers is be in a different car to the others. So these are driving a completely different car. They're driving the RSS Formula Hybrid 25, one that they may have been used to driving last year. This is going to be an interesting race at the Red Bull Ring. And this is who is competing in the series. 16 drivers today with Coque Lopez, Enrique Marion, Matias Ojula, Alejandro Sanchez, Sergio Sobrino, with Agustin Torlaci, Marcus Valverde, Sinan Demerbas, Sebastian Hirsch, Angelo Michael Schmiedl, Fabrizio Donzo in the number 12, a Chilean on the grid. Great to see some other nationalities being represented here. Simone Izzi, it will be the Italian driver on the grid, and then we've got the returning Swiss drivers of Yannick Pletcher, Mario Stanic and Ciro Zambra. So they're the drivers that will be competing for today, and great to see the Colombians, the Chilis and the Italians now stepping onto the grid here in the Racer League to go alongside the Spanish, the Argentinian of Torlaci we've seen for a few seasons, the Turkish driver of Sinan Demerbas, the Czechia driver of Michael Schmiedl, and then the two Germans of Hirsch and Angelo Michael. Only 16 drivers in this race, which means that all drivers will score points. It means the lowest set of points will be 5 for last place in this race. The one-shot qualifying will be underway shortly, and we'll be able to see what will happen in this first race of the session. We believe qualifying will be starting anywhere within the next 3 minutes. What a day this is going to be here at Spielberg. We get to see that old rivalry of Alejandro Sanchez and Michael Schmiedl take place once again. It's a rivalry that I've brought to you now for 3 or so years, and it's a rivalry that I love to see. A great rivalry. They are both very respectful of each other on the circuit and in person, and I love to see them two go wheel to wheel. You can always bet your bottom dollar on a great battle between the two. There is our Argentinian driver of Agustin Torlaci in Madrid, getting ready to go for his race in what should be a fantastic day for him. Madrid have a few drivers in this one getting ready to go throughout their championship, and I am just going to load up the entry list so I can double check who is where. Here we go. So yeah, should be a great day of racing. 16 drivers coming your way. We have got the majority of the drivers in that Madrid lounge. Coque Lopez, Enrique Marion, Matias Ojula, Alejandro Sanchez, Sergio Sobrino, Agustin Torlaci and Marcus Valverde. With Munich are bringing us 4 drivers today with Sinan Demerbas, Sebastian Hirsch, Angelo Michael and Michael Schmiedl. And then Zurich also are bringing us 5 drivers for today with Fabrizio Donzo, Simeone Lezzi, Yannick Pletcher, Mario Stanic and Ciro Zambra. So let's see what will happen in this race. There is Sinan Demerbas, who used to race many moons ago in gardening gloves, doesn't anymore. There is the man who spent all his savings from Racing Unleashed prize money that he'd won, and had a nice GT3 day out in a Mercedes AMG GT3 car at the Portimao, the Algarve circuit, in what must have been a fantastic day for Ciro Zambra. And I'm interested to see what's going to happen here, because Ciro last season was really in the fight for podiums and was really in that fight for a top 5 in the championship. And I think if you cast your mind back almost a year now, Ciro was getting stronger and stronger. Missed a couple of races due to events, but was getting stronger and stronger as the championship went on. I'd keep your eyes on him. I really would, because I fancy Ciro Zambra to just maybe surprise a few people here this season. So let's see what he can do. Great, as always, to see returning faces and new faces on the grid. Sinan Demerbas there, just having a little stretch. And they're getting ready to go. There's the headband of Marcus Valverde. The purple headband this time out for Marcus in the car. It's great to see Augustin Torlacci back as well. Saw Augustin for a while, so it is great to see him back on the grid and ready to go. As everybody now gets ready for qualifying, there is Alejandro Sanchez. What does he have to do to beat Michael Schmiedel? That's what he's going to be thinking. He would have been preparing for this for a long time. I wonder if any of these drivers have been participating in the Bathurst 12-hour this weekend over on iRacing. If so, that may have delayed proceedings in preparing for this race today, because that is going to have taken it out on you, a different challenge completely. So that will mean these drivers have got to quickly get accustomed back into not only just these simulators, but these cars as well, because this car is a very different car to the one we have just seen on screen. As you see Mario Stanic there, getting them tyres nice and warm. And let's see which driver we pick up on the outlap of qualifying here then. You see they're all getting their tyres prepared and ready to go in this qualifying session of the race. Ignore me, I've lost all train of thought there. But Mario Stanic rounding turn number 5, down the hill towards turn 6 he goes. So seen in the chat, Ciro will be RU1 champ this year. Mark my words. That is a bold claim, and let's see what happens. Who have we picked up then coming through the final corner for to start his opening lap of the qualifying session? Down in towards turn 1 we go, number 99 on the car. Coming through turn 2 now. He's going to march back up the hill towards turn number 3. Towards the right-hander, flicks it in. Just a little tyre smoke there with a bit of a lock-up. Back down towards turn 4 we come now. I'll tell you which driver is number 99. So let's see if we can get the name up on the screen just to give us an indication. It might be Alejandro Sanchez. Keep our eyes out on who it is as he comes through 7 and 8. This is going to be an even quicker lap time because these cars are a bit more powerful. You can see by the size of them as well, a bit more like the last year's Formula 1 car. As he comes through 9 in towards turn 10. What's the lap time going to be? As they come across the timing tower. Unsure. What I can tell you is, let me load the timing tower up. Ciro Zambra has currently set the fastest time from Michael Schmiedel by 42 hundredths of a second. Coque Lopez was a 10th clear of was a 10th behind Yannick Pletcher was P4, 2 tenths off the pace. Angelo Mikel 5th. Marignon's just gone up into 6th. In Ander Merbas 7th. Alejandro Sanchez only P9, but only 3 tenths off of the pole position. There is Ciro Zambra himself. He's currently provisional pole. We'll get that full classification of the grid order to you. He looks unhappy with that one. Ciro Zambra looks very, very unhappy. Now, according to the timing tower, he was P1. There's Michael Schmiedel. Great to see him back in the cockpit for this year. But Ciro Zambra looked very disgruntled there. We're being told the timing is correct in our ear, so we believe that it should be Ciro Zambra on pole position, but he looked very unhappy with that moment. I wonder if he thinks he's gone outside the track limits. Yannick Pletcher, great to see him back as well. Let's see what happens here then. as we enter the final stages of the race. Right, your grid order. Ciro Zambra will be P1 by 42 thousandths of a second from Michael Schmiedel. Koke Lopez, P3 from Yannick Pletcher. Angelo Miquel, P5 from Enrique Marignon. Sinan de Murbas in 7th place from Augustin Torlachi. Alejandro Sanchez, 0.3 of a second is all it is off the pole. It is that time. 0.4 back to Mario Stanic in P10. Sebastian Hirsch in P11 from Matthias Orjula. P13 for Marcus Valverde. Simone Izzi then in P14. Sergio Sobrino in P15. And Fabrizio Donzo in P16. Looks like Sergio and Fabrizio may have run into a little bit of an error or had a moment 26 and 39 seconds off of the pole time. So unsure what got Ciro a little riled up there, but it was good enough for pole position. I wonder if he thought he just maybe extended the track limits at the final couple of corners then. Either way, a good lap from him puts him on P1 on the grid. And one of the lounge colleagues just having a chat with Ciro now. So whatever he was unhappy about, still doesn't look overly happy, does he? Just pulling a few grimaces a little bit there. Still doesn't look like he's happy with something. So yeah, interesting to see as we wait to line up on the grid. That should be the way the grid starts. See our Racing Unleashed attendant there, just keeping the headset on for any communications that needs to be informed that he can relay to the drivers before, but that man there on pole position. I mean, he looks fully focused, he looks determined and ready to go, but he definitely was upset with something in qualifying. Schmiedel, nice to see him back. Always great to see Michael Schmiedel back in the car. One of the best talents on the grid here at Racing Unleashed. And, you know, he had to have challenges last year. Sanchez was winning that, leading that championship for quite a while, up until the final stages of the season. Koke Lopez, watch out for him. He could be a real threat this year as well. Very quick driver. Brought himself back into contention as the season went on last year. So keep your eyes on Koke Lopez. He could be one to really watch out for in this championship. He really has got the pace and the race smarts about it. So as the race is about to take to the grid, you'll see there on the driver's screens, they're just currently waiting to be placed in the correct grid spot before taking to the grid in this race. It's the lounge in Munich, people just watching on and waiting to see what will happen in this first race of the RU1 season. No longer the Racer League. If you've tuned in to see the Racer League, it is now RU1. Missed it. RU2 was an absolute belter. A slow builder, a quiet start that built into a fantastic ending for the podium. Schmiedel in the white simulator. Sebastian Hirsch there in the blue one just behind him. Waiting to take to the grid before we can do our little fly through with the drone to show you who lines up where and alongside who, as the drivers now look like they're being loaded into the correct server and into their correct grid spots. Sanchez there, not sure that is from Stanic. See Ciro Zambra and Yannick Pletcher just behind him as they take to the grid now then. And get ready for the race starts here at Racing Unleashed. There is Angelo Miquel multiple race wins he's had in the top tier of Racing Unleashed. Who is going to take this race win here today? This could be very crucial to see what kind of start we get and what push to pass we get. The walkthrough of the grid then, the Williams Esports Academy driver of Ciro Zambra will line up alongside that of Michael Schmiedel, the defending champion, the multiple champion here at Racing Unleashed, starts on the front row. Row 2 will be Koke Lopez. He's a challenger for this year, let me tell you. He lines up alongside Yannick Pletcher. Row 3 will be Angelo Mikel from Munich, lining up alongside that of Enrique Marignon, the second driver from Madrid. Car number 99 was Alejandro Sanchez that was Sinan Demerbas we was on board with. He's alongside Augustin Torlaci. Before then dropping back to Alejandro Sanchez, we'll be alongside Mario Stanic. Sebastian Hirsch will line up in his green and yellow car alongside that of Matthias Orjula. Marcus Valverde, sporting the purple headband in the red and black liveried car, will be alongside Simone Easy, then in the green and yellow car. The yellow and blue of Sergio Sorbino will line up on the final row of the grid alongside Fabrizio Donzo. That then is your grid order for the race. This then, as we now await for the lights to come on here in the Racer League. What a day it's already been at Spielberg. RU2 went the way of Madrid and of Nesta Garcia. Who will it go the way of in RU1? The lights appear on the screen. We await for them to go red. And we await for the green, as it's all red lights now. And for the final time today, it's green and go, and it looks a good start from Ciro Zambra, who immediately comes across to close off Michael Schmiedel. Back onto the racing line into turn 1. That is Koke Lopez, looking round the outside of the defending champion. Can't get it done, tucks back in behind. But a great start from everybody. Sebastian Hirsch moving up the order. Enrique Marignon drops down a couple of places. Now Lopez to the outside of Schmiedel. And that's Yannick Pletcher, who fancies a look on the inside of Koke Lopez. Big slide from Koke on the exit of the corner. And Yannick Pletcher still side by side with the inside line going into turn 4. Looking back from Augustin Torlaci. There is cars everywhere into 4. 3 abreast they was for a moment. Yannick Pletcher is now ahead of Koke Lopez. Coming in towards turn number 6. It is Zambra who got away well, and Lopez now just tumbling down the order, trying to attack Schmiedel early. He's lost out to Yannick Pletcher in this race. What a start though here at Spielberg. It is a lot more hectic than the RU2 race, and already these drivers settling now, or starting to try and settle into a rhythm. Alejandro Sanchez has moved up to P7. Watch for him coming through the field. He could be absolutely electric today from down the order the way he was. He's ahead of Augustin Torlaci, and he's now gaining on the back of Sinan Demerbas here. There is Alejandro Sanchez, who's not on the back of Demerbas because Torlaci flies past him with a push to pass. Sanchez holds that inside line though, still had a nose there. And a little wiggle from Torlaci on corner exit. Sanchez comes right back at him. Is that push to pass? Believe so, because look at the gap he's already built. So drivers early on using that push to pass activation. And if you have just tuned in, it is 8 usages of push to pass. You can use them at any given moment of the race, at any time. It is not 1 per lap. It is 8 in total. If you use all 8 in 1 lap, you are done for the rest of the race. And there is 37 and a half, just over 37 and a half minutes left. Mario Stanic has dropped down to last place. He's had a moment somewhere. And Zambra leads by 1.2 seconds over Schmiedel, with Yannick Pletcher currently P3, Koke Lopez 4th. What a start to this race. Fastest lap of the race, Ciro Zambra with a 1:06.5. Some 10 seconds quicker than the cars earlier on. This was a look back to the Torlaci-Sanchez fight a moment ago. Torlaci round the outside at turn 3 with a lovely move. And then Sanchez immediately answered back. Down in towards turn 4. Was not hanging around on the back there of Agustin Torlaci. Sanchez is a man who will try and get on with this now and will try and work his way further forward on this field. But it's a close field. You saw from the qualifying times how close the field is. It's just about being patient and when not to use that push-to-pass system. Here goes Torlaci. Ciro Zambra once again, fastest lap of the race for him with a 1:06.4. This is on with Yannick Pletcher now. Wiggle on the curb on the exit of turn number 1. Just over a second out from Michael Schmiedl. Schmiedl already nearly 3 seconds behind Ciro Zambra there. As the time fluctuates as they come through the braking zones. Pletcher doing a cracking job at the moment. Got ahead of Koke Lopez, not really under pressure from Koke at the moment. Alejandro Sanchez, though, straight round that of Sinan Demirbas and up the inside at turn 4. Sanchez on the move at the moment. Sinan tries to fight him back, but just losing a bit of time through turn number 5 there. Sanchez isn't a million miles off the podium here. He's gaining on the back of Angelo Mikel. Ciro Zambra, 2 seconds lead to Michael Schmiedl at the moment. Yannick Pletcher got the gap down just under a second. Sinan Demirbas once again under pressure. That is Torlaci with push to pass. You just saw how the car pulled alongside with ease. So Torlaci moves up into P number 7 now. What a race this has been so far today here in Spielberg. It's been a great day from everybody so far. It is great to see the RU1 drivers getting their chance to attack the Spielberg circuit. Zambra, Schmiedl, Pletcher, Lopez, Mikel, your top 5. Stanic still in this. You know, he'll still score points for today, even if it's just 5 points, but he'll want to make up a few more places. He's not massively off the back, so whatever happened at the start hasn't put him massively off the back of the pack. This is Angelo Mikel, multiple race winner at this level here at Racing Unleashed. Against a lot of these drivers as well, so great to see from them. This is a look back of Torlaci getting past Sinan Demirbas. A lap or 2 ago. Great move from Torlaci. Where is Mikel at the moment? Sat in P5. This is Enrique Marignon. P9 again, multiple race winner at this level. He'll know what he's got to do in this race to be able to take home some good points. He's gaining, has a look on Sinan. Doesn't get the move done there, though. Sinan just looking on the back of Torlaci as well. Now Marignon looks to tuck underneath. It'll be the outside line for turn 6. He's going to try it, though. Little bit of contact wheel to wheel there, maybe. Oh, and a big moment on the curb. He hold on to it well. And Marignon lives to fight another day. But that has put Torlaci well clear of Demirbas now. Schmiedl just starting to stretch his legs over the cars around him. Here comes Sebastian Hirsch. The outside of Marignon. Sinan Demirbas kind of boxed him in a little bit there. He had nowhere to go. Marignon, though, great move up the inside. Out of turn 3. They still rub wheels to wheel. And Marignon on that inside line now over Sinan Demirbas. Hirsch looks to the outside line. They're 3 abreast going into turn 4. This can only end one way. Demirbas breaks the latest. Tries to get back around the outside. And now Hirsch tucks underneath both of them. Marignon still holds it ahead of Demirbas. And we'll have that inside line over Sebastian Hirsch. And Enrique Marignon That was a car off of Angelo Mikel, who drops down the order. And Hirsch nearly got them both, but can only get Sinan Demerbas as Enrique Marignon moves up to 7th place. What a great bit of racing we are seeing here at Spielberg. Angelo Mikel down to 10th. Don't know what happened to him. What a race. 32 minutes dead on the clock here left in this one to go. And that was absolutely fantastic. Sebastian Hirsch nearly picked up 2 places. This is this is on board. Saying Angelo Mikel, but I don't think we've got a camera crew in Munich. Oh, we do have. It is Angelo Mikel. We are being told we do have. So it is Angelo Mikel in Munich that we are on board with there then. What happened to Angelo? Right then, Sebastian Hirsch. What can you do now? Can you stay to the back of Enrique Marignon? Can you gain on Torlachi? Lead out from 3.8 seconds, down 3.2. May just be the way it's ebbing and flowing through the corners. What a start to this race, though. It built for so long. We had about half an hour of building up into the RU2 race before the action unfolded in here. From the get-go, it's been a long time, nearly a year since these guys have been out on circuit, and they are ready for a fight. They are ready for a race. And what a show. We've only had 10 minutes of racing already in this one, and it has been fantastic to see. Now we just settle a little bit in this race. There's a few little gaps. There are drivers still within a second, but not close enough to make any moves. As here's Marcus Valverde. Loving the colour scheme on that default livery as well. Great to see. Valverde on the back of Orjula. Through 7 and 8. What a race this is turning out to be here at Spielberg. What a day. Don't forget, qualification opens. While there's a little moment, qualification opens on the 11th of March for RU3, which is at the 22nd of March. That'll be live alongside RU1 and RU2. So we'll have all 3 events in one day. So don't miss out that one on the 22nd of March. Go over to Racing Unleashed website if you would like to register to be into the qualifiers for that one. And remember to go to one of the racing lounges, either at Zurich Airport, Zurich City Centre, at the Motor World building in Munich, or the racing lounge in Madrid, where on the 11th of March or after then for when the qualifiers open to qualify for RU3. That, I do believe, this is not confirmation, but I believe that it will be a different calendar to the one we are running here. So keep your eyes on our social media platforms for all RU3 information. But that is going to be good to see some new faces on the grid. See what they can do. This is looking over Michael Schmiedel's shoulder, your defending multiple champion here at Racing Unleashed. Little slide through turn 1. That up the road is Ciro Zambra, who at the moment is in a world of his own. But we know how good Schmiedel is at saving that battery. He used to use it quite early on. We know how good recently he's been at saving it till towards the end, towards the latter part of last season. That might be what he's doing here today. Coque Lopez running in P4 at the moment. He'll look to try and get past Yannick Pletcher. He's still within that 6/10 mark. So he's still roughly round about there in terms of being on Yannick. It's just whether or not he can get past in this race. 27 minutes left on the clock. This is down to Marcus Valverde now. Stanic has made up one place. He's not far off the back of Easy to get up to 14th, just for a few more points. down in towards the Niki Lauda curve. Marcus Valverde gets on the power nice and early. Schmiedl has really brought that gap down. I'm wondering who's using push to pass there. Did Ciro... Oh, no, it's gone back up over 3 seconds. Did Ciro use a couple early on? Has Michael Schmiedl just started to use some now? Just to re-close that gap. Okay, Lopez is closing in a little bit on Yannick Pletcher. And Yannick seems to have stepped it up already, not only in qualifying, but already at the start of this race. Yannick, who won what was the Challenger League 2 seasons ago to go into the Racer League last year. You know, he found his feet and improved as the races went on. But now it's about finding that next level. Start the season as you ended the one before. So far, he's starting it in fantastic fashion at the moment. Over 4 seconds now between Zambra and Schmiedl. Live time windscreen then. So last lap's 3/10. Zambra was quicker than Schmiedl. Schmiedl only quicker than Pletcher and Koke Lopez by 2/10. They was matching each other, a couple of hundredths between Yannick Pletcher and Koke Lopez. This is on board with your race leader, Ciro Zambra, who for whatever reason was disgruntled before the race had started after qualifying. He looks good now. Alejandro Sanchez's best last lap was in the 106s, was actually just slower than Michael Schmiedl's time. Pletcher and Lopez running in the low 107s, so that could allow Sanchez to just creep onto them a little bit sooner rather than later. As Ciro Zambra now in towards turn number 1. 4.5 seconds was his lead before the time come down through the turn 1 braking zone. Koke Lopez. There's Alejandro Sanchez, look, in the back. 1.8 off the back of these two. So could he here just start to maybe work onto the back of these front two then, who's not really fighting? But Sanchez just at this stage of the race just has a little more pace than they do. Last time around, Yannick Pletcher 107.0. Koke Lopez, who uses push to pass, does he? Down the outside to turn number 4. Bit of contact between the two. Pletcher holds that inside line, and Lopez cannot find a way through there then. Now looks to the outside of turn number 6. Tries to go right around the outside, does Koke Lopez. Pletcher forces him wide and squeezes him out of room. Yannick Pletcher stays ahead. Great racing between the two. Great respect being shown there from the pair of them. And this allows Schmiedl to pull away even more, but this will also allow Sanchez onto the back here. We've got a race on our hands here at Spielberg today. 10 corners of non-stop drama. With 24 minutes left on the clock, we're nearly at the halfway distance of this race. And this has been a fantastic display. All around us, Koke Lopez, late lunge up the inside. Pletcher gives him the room. Lopez cannot get the momentum and the power through the corner. And Pletcher stays ahead. But you can see push to pass being used. Pletcher defends the inside. They touch. They make contact. I think Pletcher's kept going. Indeed, he has. Lopez very, very, very wide. Can he hold it around the outside of turn 5, though? Does Pletcher have that inside line? No, he doesn't. He's lost it to Koke Lopez now. Will he squeeze Yannick Pletcher out of room? Just about. Pletcher to the outside of 7. We'll have the inside for 8. They're still bumping wheel to wheel. Still going at it hard with each other. And into turn 9 now. Yannick Pletcher fighting tirelessly. Oh, contact! Koke Lopez is around. And Alejandro Sanchez gains 2. That was inevitable. You could just see it coming. Koke Lopez spun around and drops behind Torlacci as well as Alejandro Sanchez. And there was too much contact in the middle part of that lap for it to not end in disaster. It was coming. Now Lopez has got to do the hard work again, and all of a sudden Alejandro Sanchez, with 22 minutes left on the clock, is 5 seconds off the back of Schmiedl. Can Sanchez go and challenge his formidable opponent at the very end of this race? It was always going to happen. This is a replay, and look what happened there. Pletcher taps the rear wheel of Coque Lopez. I've said it once, I'll say it a million times. The stewarding, race control, have the hardest job in sim racing to make sure the decisions are the correct one and everything is above board. They do not want to make the wrong decision and end up with a load of appeals to sort out. Marignon weaving in the background there, not to deliberately block. He's got no one directly behind him, but just looks like his tyres are maybe a little bit cold. Either way. Here's Augustin Torlacci now attacking the back of Ciro Zambra. These two have gone head-to-head last season. They went head-to-head the season before in what is now RU2. There is race control. Sebastian Hawkins looking on and giving a watching brief. The race control stewards already look like they're looking over some of the incidents at the moment. And this now for Augustin Torlacci. Is this time to pounce on Yannick Pletcher? Well, Yannick may be a little bit flustered, a little bit panicked, worried maybe about what might be to come. Is this the time for Torlacci to attack Yannick Pletcher? Angelo Mikel now. He had dramas earlier on. He was on his own, so not sure if it was his own drama that he'd had. He's on the back of Sinan Demirbaş, P9 and 10. Nice quiet RU2 has led to an absolute chaotic RU1. Good job I've got plenty of water. Pop on hand to keep hydrated here, because I'm going to need it in this race. I feel like I'm going to need this all season. This is going to be such an interesting fight all year long. And you have to say, really, a shame for Coque Lopez, because would he have had the pace had he passed Yannick Pletcher to maybe go on and catch Schmiedel and challenge Schmiedel in this one? Zambra 4 seconds clear of Schmiedel, with Alejandro Sanchez a further 4.5 seconds behind. Then is Yannick Pletcher, Augustin Torlacci, Coque Lopez. Mario Stanic, by the way, has got past Izzy and Sobrino up into 13th place, and he's on the back of Orjula and Valverde. So looking to try and maybe break into the top 10 is Mario Stanic here after his early opening couple of lap dramas. Right, under halfway now, and again, we just calm down a little bit, just get back into that rhythm of the race. We can just settle once more to see what will come in the racing. Stanic has got past Orjula there then. So that puts Mario Stanic up into 12th place. Angelo Mikel now looking on the back of Demirbaş. Both drivers racing in Munich. Will know each other very, very well. A lot of chat in the channel, and we love to see the chat going back to the Coque Lopez and Yannick Pletcher incident. Love to see a lot of chat coming in. It's great to read through and see what thoughts of different people's are. End of the day, the race control make the final decision, and what their decision is, it stands, so we'll see what happens. Here's Orjula then, on the back of Stanic, trying to get back through as Stanic is looking to attack that of Marcus Valverde. Valverde goes defensively, and Stanic will look around the outside just ahead here of the... well, looks to be another Williams Esports driver, I believe it is. Here then. Angelo Mikel now on the back of Sinan Demirbaş still. Gap out front, 5.4 seconds. You just get the feeling that either Schmiedel is saving some push to pass in reserve, Ciro Zambra, has worked hard to maybe get this one over the line. Koke Lopez is now ahead of, is still ahead of Enrique Marion. He's got Torlachi ahead of Marion behind. There is Koke Lopez. Angelo Mikel now running P10 on the back of Sinan Demirbas, trying to get a little bit closer at the moment. We're at that kind of the stage in the race. There's a little bit of a lull where drivers who have just maybe saving some push to pass towards the very end, and we just get that kind of settle in, try and get a bit closer, or try and pull away, then use that push to pass to either defend or attack. That's where we're at the moment. And I think you'll start seeing the last 10 minutes, especially behind Yannick Pledger. Got Torlachi, Lopez, Marion all within a second. Well, here goes Koke Lopez on Augustin Torlachi. That was pushed to pass. Koke Lopez, through he goes. So through goes Koke Lopez then. And he comes back up into P5 on the back of Yannick Pletcher. For another crack at that one. Mikel has got past Demirbas as well on the timing tower, so Angelo Mikel has got through. Koke Lopez here then. You're seeing the onboard camera of him in the racing lounge. Here's Augustin Torlachi. Demirbas got back ahead of Angelo Mikel. Stanic on the back with Orjula of Valverde. This is Torlachi then. You can see in the bottom corner. If you're wondering what he's looking at in the bottom left there, it's a widescreen, triple screen monitors in front of him. Just be possibly looking at a bit of delta, maybe in that bottom left-hand side of his corner on his screen there, just to maybe see the gap in front or behind. I'm not sure what delta the drivers actually have on this one. So on board Mario Stanic now, who has got ahead of Marcus Valverde. He's pulled away from Orjula, so we'll now try and just move ahead of Valverde. He's gone 6 seconds to Angelo Mikel and the Sinan Demirbas Mikel fight. Excuse me. So Mario Stanic now has just got to try and use that last 13, 14 minutes to close that gap. Just there you can see the left side of the screen. So this is what I was on about just a moment ago. So you can just see, look, just a bit of driver delta there. Gaps in front, gaps behind. So that may have been what Torlachi was just looking at and just casting his eye to. Just to be able to see, after Lopez had got past him, what the gap was then to Marignon. So it's just an indication for these drivers just to have a look at the little things that are going on behind the scenes here, what you don't get seen normally on the monitors. Obviously, we get all the gaps on that timing tower. Ciro Zambra still with the fastest lap of the race with a 1:06.406, excuse me. Sanchez isn't closing in. It was 2 tenths slower than Schmiedel in the 1:07.1s. Fletcher actually gained 2 tenths over Sanchez on the last lap. There is your overall gaps to the leader. 40 seconds covering the top 16 in this race at the moment. Interesting to see here. The last couple of laps, Torlachi was nearly half a second slower than Koke Lopez. and lost 2 attempts to Enrique Marignon in the meantime. What about Stanic? He's the man who's been on the move. Attempt slower than Mikel and de Merbas last lap. Just needs to start improving that a little bit quicker than what he is at the moment. There is Enrique Marignon. 8 tenths off the back of Torlachi. He was 2 tenths quicker last time around. Let's see what he'll pump in this time then. Sanchez again just losing a bit of time to Pletcher behind and losing ground to the front too. Torlachi did a 106.9, a 107.1 for Marignon. So Marignon loses the 2 tenths he just gained. Stanic loses even more time to the cars in front. So I think P11 might be all that Mario Stanic is going to get out of this race. But there's still 11.5 minutes left, so still a lot can happen here. So your running order going into the final 10 minutes is Zambra, Schmiedel, Sanchez, Pletcher, Lopez, Torlachi, Marignon, Hirsch, de Merbas, Mikel, Stanic, Valverde, Orjula, Izzy. And then Sobrino and Donzo, your final drivers. 16 on the grid for today. Angelo Mikel trying to get close to Sinan de Merbas. Is he thinking of maybe this is the only place he can gain in this race? Is he saving some push to pass till the very, very end of it? Everything's just calmed down a little bit now. It's just quietened out. And we're just able to now get into the calm before the storm, you feel, though. Lopez within that second area to Yannick Pletcher. Big lock up for Angelo Mikel there. There's Enrique Marignon trying to close in on Torlachi. He's got a little closer over these last couple of laps. In fact, last time around, it was a tenth of a second quicker. Still Sanchez can't break under that 1:07 mark. Yannick Pletcher is getting a little bit closer, just slowly chipping away at Alejandro Sanchez. Interesting to note, something that you guys can't see that I can on the timing tower. It tells you the top speed of what the drivers are hitting through the speed traps. Yannick Pletcher is some nearly 18 kilometers an hour slower in the speed trap than Alejandro Sanchez. So Yannick, I'm not sure where the speed trap is on circuit, but it's just either braking a bit too early or not getting on the power early enough. That's just costing him a little bit of time in the speed traps. He's still chipping away 2 tenths a lap at the moment. The de Merbas-Mikel fight still the closest one on track, but we have got this of there's Lopez, there's Torlachi, there's Marignon. Fletcher just a bit further up the road. This is your closest fight between Angelo Mikel and Sinan de Merbas here. Now Mikel pulls out, outside line of turn 4. De Merbas going to try and brake late. They make contact. That forces Mikel a little wide and de Merbas comes back through. So Sinan de Merbas at the moment stays ahead, but Angelo Mikel now starting to lurk, starting to be a bit more of a presence and a nuisance behind that of Sinan de Merbas. real strong start to the season for Schmiedl, for Sanchez, and for 100% for Ciro Zambra with the pole. Could be 2 clean sweeps in a day here. 2 pole positions, 2 fastest laps and 2 race wins for one for Nesta Garcia in the RU2 and then one for Ciro Zambra now. That is provided nobody can take the fastest lap away from him in the next 7 minutes. As we approach the end of this race. He has been flawless today. Now, unless Schmiedl has got a trick up his sleeve with push to pass, provided Ciro doesn't have any to defend with, this man has drove sublime. Spent his savings on his Racing Unleashed winnings that he'd put to the side. And we have had a retirement race. Donoso has dropped out of the service. That is a retirement from the race. Unsure as to why. Ciro Zambra in the off-season saved up his Racing Unleashed earnings that he'd made, put it towards testing a GT3 car, a Mercedes AMG GT3 at the Algarve Portimao circuit, as Enrique Marignon pushed to pass round the outside of Torlacci and gets that done before the braking zone of turn 3. Runs a little deep. Does that invite Torlacci back through? No, it does not. Yeah, Ciro Zambra, that's just showing where the money can get to. Enrique Marignon then up into P6. So Ciro Zambra leading away. Sanchez is just dipped under a second. Pletcher's just dipped under a second to Sanchez there. Sanchez finally in the 106.8. Fastest lap, Enrique Marignon. So we may not have another clean sweep coming the way, because Marignon takes the fastest lap of the race. And that was with some definite push to pass usage, but that is what it's there for. Mikel will be able to paint the prettiest picture of the rear of Sinan Demirbas's car by the end of today. He'll know it like the back of his hand. Demirbas, big bit of a lock-up coming through turn 4 there. Yeah, trickiest corner on the circuit for me to get right. Mikel just cannot get close enough. There's the overall gaps to the leaders. 5.3 seconds, Zambra to Schmiedl. 4 minutes 10 to go. And Torlacci's fell off the back of Enrique Marignon already. 6/10 that gap. Does he have any push to pass left? He'll know if he does. It'll tell him on his data. Fletcher really getting closer to Alejandro Sanchez here now. Flicks it through 7 and 8. Yannick Fletcher now just starting to close in. Gained a 10th on the last lap. Game takes 2 more tenths out of Alejandro Sanchez that time around. So Yannick Fletcher just starting to slidey through to the exit of turn 1 there for Sanchez. Fletcher's just starting to see that car grow bigger and bigger as he catches it. Lock up again for both. Fletcher's right there. If there's any push to pass left. Marignon's gaining in on Coque Lopez here as well. Lopez hasn't gone with Fletcher. 2.5 minutes to go. I think 2 more laps potentially after this one. This could be nail-biting to the very end for the podium. Are we going to see another podium change hands in the final couple of moments of this race? Yannick Pletcher, who was literally wheel to wheel with Coque Lopez earlier on, is now gaining over Alejandro Sanchez. Again, another 0.2 goes the way of Yannick Pletcher last time around. Here goes Alejandro. Up the hill they climb. Yannick Pletcher to the outside line, following in the slipstream of Alejandro. Round the outside of turn 3. Here comes Pletcher and Sanchez side by side. With at least one more to go after this. Yannick Pletcher back on the podium here in Spielberg. What a move around the outside of turn 3. Now can he pull away from Sanchez? Does Sanchez have anything in reserve for that last lap? What drama here at the in the Styrian Mountains. One to go here at Spielberg. And Yannick Pletcher now sets the fastest lap of the race with a 1:06.276. And can he hang on in there over Alejandro Sanchez? Looking cool and calm in the cockpit. He's got very little time left. He's about halfway through the circuit now. But this man, through 7 and 8, pole position, led from the start, been under no pressure. Something got him a little unhappy between qualifying and the start of the race. But Ciro Zambra rounds the final corner, and he will win the first round of the season at Spielberg. Ciro Zambra wins with Michael Schmiedel, and the fastest lap at the end with a 1:05.791. And then Schmiedel takes the fastest lap from him with a 7.81. So Schmiedel fastest lap. Pletcher will come out for third from Alejandro Sanchez, Coque Lopez and Enrique Marignon. Augustin Torlacci P7 will get you the provisional results at the very end. But Michael Schmiedel took the fastest lap. And Yannick Pletcher in the background, Ciro Zambra in the yellow simulator. He's the race winner. Double podium at Zurich and one for Munich. What a race for RU1 to kick off the season. Michael Schmiedel in Munich with a second place, a strong second place, but just didn't have the pace of Zambra today. But this man knows it's not about winning the races, it's about being consistent over the season. Second place won't faze him at all. A great podium for Michael Schmiedel. What a result for Ciro Zambra. Race winner at Spielberg for round 1 of the season from Michael Schmiedel and Yannick Pletcher. That then is your podium here for RU1. And we get to do it all again in a month's time. Your provisional results then, or provisional championship, should I say, which will also be in result order, is Ciro Zambra leads the way from Michael Schmiedl. Yannick Pletcher is P3 from Alejandro Sanchez. Coque Lopez, P5 from Enrique Marignon. Augustin Torlacci was P7 ahead of Sebastian Hirsch, who Sinan Demirbas stayed ahead of Angelo Mikel before Mario Stanic, Marcus Valverde, Matthias Orjula, P13, with Simone Ise in 14th place. Sergio Sobrino, 15th. And we did have a DNF of Fabrizio Donoso in P16. That is your provisional result. Race control will now make sure everything is correct. So we'll get provisional podiums interviews in just a few moments' time. But what a race here in the Styrian Mountains of Austria today. Spielberg Racetrack has put on an absolute stellar show for us for RU1 and RU2. And once again, for those of you who are RU3 or wanting to enter into that RU3 championship, remember that go to our website, racingunleashed.com. Over there, you'll be able to find the registration for the qualification process. Head over to one of the racing lounges in Switzerland, in Germany at Munich, or in Madrid at Spain. And there, from the 11th of March, so in about two and a bit weeks' time, qualifications will open up for your chance to get yourself in the seat to try and qualify for the RU3 grid. What a day it has been, though, here at Spielberg. An absolutely fantastic day of racing from all the competitors out there. A massive congratulations to Garcia, Nestor Garcia, and Ciro Zambra for the race win. But we can go now to Zurich to speak live with Yannick Pletcher, who I believe can hear us now. Yannick, first of all, congratulations on the P3. Talk us through that race, because it seemed a little bit chaotic from where you was.
Thank you, yeah. It was really chaotic for me, because I thought at the beginning it was a different car at the start of the race, because I was so off-pace in quali. It was crazy. I didn't thought it was the same car. Then I was going into the race, and I overtook Coque fairly, and then I couldn't drive my pace because I thought this would be the wrong car. So I didn't drive my pace, and then there was this incident with Coque. I don't know who is at fault there, because it's like this corner is so tricky to get through. Ciro and I always trained together, and we always had difficulties in that corner, in that specific corner, to go side by side. I tried to go side by side, and I don't know, it's so hard to tell. But then I regained my confidence back, I don't know, and then I found 4/10 per lap. I don't know why. I think I knew that the car is really that car, and I can drive I regained my confidence, yeah.
Either way, we'll see what's to come from race control. They'll make the final decision, I'm sure, on the Ewan Lopez battle. But a good, strong start to the RU1 season. We spoke a few times last year when it was the Racer League about how you've got better as the season's gone on. That's a good, strong start for you now.
Yeah, definitely. Last season was also only 8 races. So I don't have that much experience, to be honest, in this competition. So I'm just trying my best to train every week to catch up to Ciro, who has done amazingly. So congrats to him. He's an amazing driver. I can tell that.
He is indeed. Well, Yannick, enjoy the P3. We'll see what happens from race control, and we'll see you next time.
Thank you, Matthew.
Get ready now to head over to Munich for this man, Michael Schmiedl, who pretty chill day today, Michael. Pretty comfortable race for yourself.
Well, to be honest, it was pretty boring race. But in the end, I'm quite happy. P2 is a decent spot for the first race. No issues at all. Obviously, quali here is always 50-50 with the track limits, etc., etc. But in the end, I'm really happy. I mean, I arrived in the lounge on Friday. The car was new, everything was new. So, yeah, quite okay.
That limited testing time obviously doesn't help, but a championship is built over the season, not just one race. P2 today is a great start to see where you can end up at the end of the season.
Well, exactly. As you have seen last year, you can win the championship without actually winning the race. So everything is doable.
Indeed. Apart from that, you said no issues today. It was a pretty comfortable second place, just not the pace of Ciro Zambra. What do you have to work on now to close that gap going into the next one?
I don't think there was a gap. Obviously, like from the first lap onwards, we basically had like equal push to passes left. So there was actually not a chance. So I was just driving it safe, like leaving that 2:10 gap in every lap to make it safe home.
Well, yeah, Michael, congratulations, say P2. We'll see you next time.
Thank you very much.
We can head back now to Zurich to speak to your race winner. Ciro Zambra, congratulations, race win today. Pretty good stuff from yourself, pole position and led from the start.
Yeah, it was very good. Thank you, Matthew. Really practiced a lot for this one, so I'm really happy with the results to walk away as a winner. It's of course the best place you can do for a season start, and it will be a very, very tough season ahead.
We saw you at the start of, just before the race after qualifying. You looked a little unhappy with something.
No, it was just that my quali lap wasn't what I wanted. I mean, in practice I was faster in quali practice, so I didn't think it would reach for pole, so I was quite surprised by that. But then race went really good.
Really good indeed. What a fantastic drive from you, though. P1, must be happy with that. Started the season off really strong. Can you carry that through to the next race?
I mean, that's a goal. If I won one, I want to win more. And it's kind of what I wanted for this season, because the last two seasons I was good, but never actually the best. And to now stand on top with a one-lap quali and then in the race drive away from everyone felt really good. But also massive congrats to Smidl and Pletcher, Yannick, they did it really good. So I will just try to keep this momentum going. And yeah, it's also nice, some fun fact, like always when I come home, my parents ask me how was the training, and this week I told them it was good, but I will see on Sunday if it's good. And now I can say it was very good.
Can indeed. Race winner today, Ciro Zambra, thank you very much for joining us. We'll see you next time.
Thank you very much, Matthew.
And once again, a look at the calendar going into the rest of the season here at Racing Unleashed for RU2 and RU1. We head to Spain next time out for Barcelona in exactly a month's time, the 22nd of March, before Spa, Imola, Nürburgring, Suzuka, Interlagos and then Silverstone to end the season. What a day it's been here at Racing Unleashed. It's been absolutely fantastic from RU2 and RU1. What a start to the season. We go again in a month. A quick reminder, though, if you want to be in for the RU3 entry that is also on the calendar for next time out at the end of March, head over to our website, Racing Unleashed, and there you'll be able to sign up to the qualification period. That opens on the 11th of March. So you have to be in the racing lounges from the 11th of March till the closing date, which I can't tell you off the top of my head. And there you can try and make the grid for RU3. But what a day it has been here in Styria, in Austria, and at the Spielberg circuit. Thank you all for tuning in and watching. We'll see you on the 22nd of March. But from all of us here at Racing Unleashed, from myself, goodbye.